morning and welcome to today's session. In this session we are going to discuss the profiling and expertise modeling in machine learning. Before starting the session, we will explain the concept of profiling with an example. Now we are facing one of the pandemic, namely COVID-19, throughout the world, and there are a lot of data available related to this COVID-19 spread, death rate, and lot of other things, the measures to prevent the expansion of pandemic, etc. All this data creates a big pile of data storage, and our aim is to obtain some valid information from this pile of data. So this procedure is also come under the head data mining. So creating a profile means from this data we are going to develop some useful information, and we use this useful information for controlling or preventing the expansion of pandemic in other areas or other territories of the world. How to do this? That is a fundamental question. For example, consider the death rate or number of people who were affected by this COVID-19 and what are the measures taken by various countries, etc. It contains lot of data points and data values. Now we are going to filter the information based on the data. For example, we consider this data is stored in an Excel sheet, and we select the column with number of deaths. Then number of death is greater than 1 lakh, or number of death is greater than 10,000. So we count the countries. Then we can say that these much countries have more death rate compared to the whole world information. That's one idea. Another thing, we try to filter out this data based on the age. From that we get the information that the lower age group are not affected by corona in a great extent, but the age people, the old age people, become easily affected by this virus and their death rate is so high. So we can say that the corona problem is largely affected to the higher age group. So this is the information that we collected from the data. Then we can say that from the collected data, these much countries, the expansion of pandemic become much faster compared to other countries, and from the timestamp we can clearly say that this pandemic start at Wuhan in China. At present time, what is the death rate in this entire world, etc. So the idea is we are trying to gather information from collected data, the collected data in electronics format. So in this session we will define formally what is profiling, and what is the need and significance of profiling, various types of profiling, and finally some popular applications of profiling. So profiling is basically the process of construction and application of user profiles generated by computerized data analysis. In profiling, make use of algorithms or other mathematical techniques that allow the discovery of pattern or correlations in large quantities of data aggregated in databases. That's very important. We are trying to develop a mathematical structure or a mathematical model. Then mathematical model is actually the profiling. That mathematical model is a profile. Then this process of creating mathematical model is profiling, and we use this mathematical model in some other set of data to get or squeeze out valid information. So profiling, the notion of profiling is, in this sense, is not just about construction of profiles only, but also concerns the applications of group profiles to individuals. Then we collect this information. For example, in the coronavirus status, we collect the information related to the corona or COVID-19. Then we make use of this information in the newer cases. We make use of this information to prevent the spread or expansion of this particular virus into the other area. So this grouped information from the corona affected people, the data collected from the corona affected people, then we collect the information and use this information for new individuals to prevent this spread. So why we use profiling, why we need profiling? The fundamental aim is to discriminate information from noise. Noise means unnecessary data. Detecting useful or interesting data from a heap pile of overloaded digitalized data. So the digitalization creates a huge amount of computer-based data. So collect or squeeze out the correct information from the data is not easy. So it demands high level of mathematical thinking, high level of mathematical knowledge, statistical knowledge, and also some support of AI methods. So with the help of these mathematical methods, the AI tools, we are trying to squeeze out valid information, only valid information from the collected electronics data. There are 7 distinct stages in profiling. The first stage is preliminary grounding. We form some hypothesis. We are going to study these much points from this data, and these all hypotheses are come under the head preliminary grounding. Then data collection. We collect necessary data to support our hypothesis or to test our hypothesis. Then data preparation. We try to pre-process the data, and we collect only the valid collection of data. We are trying to avoid these outliers and also the noises from the collected data. Then data mining. The data are analyzed with the algorithms or suitable mathematical approach. Then interpretation. The information or the mathematical model or equations that we got from the data mining will be interpreted properly with the help of data analyst or some statistician. Then application. This model or this pattern or this mathematical structure will be applied in a particular area of our interest. And also we fine tune the algorithm. That means it is similar to that of testing or cross validation that we applied in machine learning. And finally the institution or the firm will take a decision what to do with this particular model, whatever decision they are going to incorporate in their future policies, etc. Classification of profiling. Based on the type of profiling, we will classify into 3 different distinct groups. The first one is supervised and unsupervised, second one is individual and group, and third one is distributive and non-distributive. Supervised and unsupervised is very simple. In supervised method, we will start with a hypothesis, then collect the data, then we apply some statistical or mathematical method, then we accept the hypothesis or reject the hypothesis. Based on that, we develop a mathematical model. This is called the supervised model. It is similar to that of supervised modeling in our machine learning. The unsupervised means we are not starting with any hypothesis. From the data, from the interpretation, and also from the exploratory data analysis and inferential data analysis, new hypotheses or new intuitions will be formed, and we then tested this intuition for its validity, for the accuracy of that particular intuition, and finally some take decision. And this is actually an inductive approach. We start from the data, then we come to some conclusion. That's all. For example, in the COVID-19 data, we start from the collection of entire data from the worldwide pandemic spread. Then we came to, when we observed the age group, it is found that in age is greater than 60 years of all, the probability for death is high. So we come to a new induction that this COVID-19 is affected very badly to old age people, so we have to take much care and much protection to this old age group. So this is not from any former hypothesis. We start from the data, then we came to the hypothesis based on the circumstances and based on the data collected from worldwide collection of informations. Second one is individual and group. In the individual base means it is simply like create a Facebook profile. We add some basic information initially, then day by day we add some more information, our status, two more photos, and too many informations, etc., etc. And automatically our profile will expanded, and social networking will expanded day by day. So our individual profile will be updated. From this, some psychological traits may be formulated. such type of classification is called individual classification or individual profile classification. Another one is group. For example, consider the set of all students who are undergoing a NML course under this SAP. Then from daily data, they got a lot of informations related to the conduct of course throughout the centers in Kerala. But later on, they can filter out based on the institution column. When we select the Cengage, you got all the informations, all the fields, all the data related to our institution. From that, we got an idea that this institute will give that much class, this institution will do that much project work, this institution will do that much activities during this academic year, etc. So this is a group profile. This group profile will help us to compare different institutions, whether Cengage is better than the other institution, or the Cengage is very much poor, showing poor performance in this much area, etc., etc. So individual and group profiling are possible. Another one is distributive and non-distributive. In some cases, some information is collected based on some particular group can be extended to some other area. For example, the COVID-19 case. The COVID-19 case is collected, data is collected from worldwide. Then we just focused on the data. Then we classify the COVID-19 virus into type A, type B, and type C. And this type A virus spread in a particular fashion. Then we just focused on the data collected from type A affected area. We can make use of the information based on this type A affected virus area to a new area in which the same virus is affected. So we can prevent type A COVID using the preventive measures that we have taken early in a particular area which have that particular profile. That is a nice thing we can employ. The non-distributive is another type of profiling. For example, consider a party. In that party, all the HODs of the Cengage College of Engineering will attend. Then we give a questionnaire and ask them to fill their monthly salary. Everyone put their salary, and after that we go to that particular questionnaire, and we can see that most of the people have the salary near to 1 lakh. It doesn't mean all the faculty members in Cengage are common to that category. There are many people, they are near to 50,000 or 40,000 per month salary. So we cannot distribute this particular profiling or particular classification to the entire group of faculty in a particular college. The same thing can be happen in different area. For example, in COVID-19 also, in some new expansion, some new spread of COVID-19 cannot be controlled using the techniques that we have adopted in Yuan. The reason is that in Yuan, the type A or class A virus was spread out during that time, but it is mutated, the virus is mutated, and it is turned to class B or class C. So the preventive measure should be different. So such models are non-distributive. So the models can be considered to be distributive and non-distributive. The profiling is distributive and non-distributive. These are the major classification. Then applications. We can use this profiling in the commercial sector, especially in e-commerce. In e-commerce, we can identify the user profile and we profile the users into different category. Then we can attract different class of people using special strategies based on the profiling that we have done based on their feedback or their purchase history, etc. Then marketing. The marketing strategies can be decided based on the profiling. And financial sector, especially banking, insurance, etc. In banking, the CIBIL score is a very nice one. Based on the CIBIL score, we can decide how many of that particular customers in a particular branch is that much in good level, good repayment status. They are showing good repayment status. So it will help the banking institutions to give more loan or create new mortgage based on their CIBIL score. Another one is insurance. We can decide how many different types of policies are required for a particular type of people, and based on the user profile we can decide how many different types of policies are necessary to circulate in a particular area, or the rural area or urban area, like that. Then human resource management. Based on online activities of employees, we can decide how these human resources management. For example, in this time of lockdown, many institutions are make use of the work from home. Then we can collect the data. We simply fill an Excel sheet based on the performance of the students, how the particular instruction medium can be utilized well, and lot of data can be collected from the employees. Then based on this data, we can decide whether that particular employee is efficient or effective in doing this in work from home. So it creates a profiling automatically. The another important point is recommendation system. The most important application of user profiling is recommendation system. Whether it is Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it may, the e-commerce websites are make use of recommendation system. So we can design our own recommendation system based on the user profiles. Our grading or rating, our feedbacks, etc. are very much valuing by this particular recommendation system. Based on this user profile, we can recommend a new product to a customer, or we can suggest new type of things related to his choice to that particular customer, etc. So recommendation system is one of the important application based on this profiling. So thank you very much.